this is my review of The Matrix. Okay, no, I'm not doing the whole review like this. Yeah, okay, so if you didn't get that was that was my reference to The Matrix. And in all honesty, I don't really like this movie. Oh, shut up. Well, there is a good reason for it, though. I just don't see why it's so enjoyed. I mean, I can see how it's gotten some fans, but books? It has like 3 books written about it. How the heck did that happen? Yeah, so let's not waste any time. This is The Matrix. Okay, so the story is actually for me it was kind of easy to follow, which is something I didn't expect. Okay, but the story is that the character Neo, also known as Tom, because all cool characters have the name Tom. Not like that's a bad name, it's just kind of strange for this character. And he hacks into the Matrix because he wants to hack into the Matrix. Yeah, I don't really know why he wants to hack into the Matrix. I think it's just because he feels like there's something really weird going on. And it's right under his nose, and if he hacks into the Matrix, then he'll know. Which I guess kind of happens, but yeah, I don't really know why he hacks into it in the first place. If you guys know, please send a comment as to why, because I have no idea. And so, when he hacks into the Matrix, then he's targeted by these agents that really shouldn't know that he did any of this, but somehow found out. Don't really know how they found out, they just kind of found out. And upon discovering this, they try to track him down because he has ambition, I guess. So, while he's being hunted down, then he comes across Trinity, that was it. He comes across Trinity, who leads him to Morpheus, who gives him the always famous option as to the blue pill, which will take you back into your home like nothing ever happened, or the red pill, which will take you into the real world. Although, there's one thing that I do have to say he should have brought up. What the consequences are. Cypher brings this up in this movie, how he never fully explains what these pills do. He just sort of says, this one will take you to the real world, and this one will let you have a normal life. Well, what the heck is the normal life for him? I mean, come on, why didn't he explain more? This is a pretty big deal, and you think that he could have said, oh, yeah, this is what these pills do. This is a very detailed description as to what these pills do, what the real world is, and what your fake world is, okay? Hope you're cool with that. But instead, no, Cypher was the only one who got it right, that he does not explain this. But pretty much he takes the red pill, which actually ends up in a really cool mirror scene, which is probably my favorite scene in the whole movie, because it's just an awesome mirror scene. Which takes him to the real world. Or at least that's what Morpheus calls it, because it's nothing like the real world. Where now it's a dystopian world where robots control everything. And so pretty much they try to stop the robots. That's really it. It's not that hard to follow, though. Because they do try to explain how most of this works. But there are a ton of plot holes. Like, the biggest plot hole of all is, why do we need the Matrix? Not the movie or anything. Why did the robots create the Matrix? I know they're trying to give humans this world that they can live in, so then they can steal all their energy or something and use them as basically power sources, but why do they do that? Why couldn't they just have them sleep? That makes no sense. Why couldn't they just have them sleep? If they were to have them sleep, then no one would get rebellious ideas or have any way of getting out of the Matrix and then entering the real world, which could cause an uprising, which is exactly what happened. So, why were these guys so stupid, even though they're smart enough to take over a whole entire world, to make the Matrix? And was there any real need for it? I mean, what was the actual need for the Matrix? Was it just to say, hey, we could do this, or something? Because if that's the case, then that's pretty stupid. But aside from that, the acting isn't that strong. And seeing as the characters do play a big role in this movie, it's not really that great. But I'll talk about them later. But the story itself isn't that bad, but it makes you wonder, why does he actually go into the Matrix? Why is he hacking into the Matrix? Is there any real reason for that? Does he have to hack into the Matrix? I mean, why did he do that? Sorry, this bugs me. It bugs me, I don't know why. And I still don't get why they had to make the Matrix. But for what it is, it's not a bad story, and it definitely did do one thing that was very good. It got people to think about action movies a little bit more. Aside from just saying, oh yeah, they're just action movies. After that movie, a lot of people took time to think about movies and said maybe there's a little bit more to them. So I can't fault it for that. So for the story, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 because there are way too many plot holes. But for what it did fine. Now, the characters. I don't really hate all of them. Sure, I don't like them, but I don't really hate them. Now, Neo, I have to say, as being the messiah that he is throughout this whole movie, I don't really see it. How is he a messiah? He hacks into stuff. He can hack. I don't get that. He hacks into stuff and then he's automatically a messiah? How does that work? But maybe I think a little bit too much about it, but I don't get it. I mean, he learns Kung Fu in, like, what, 3 minutes? I don't really see how that works either, even though he's already in the Matrix, and I guess that would help a little bit, but I don't really see how it helps him all that much. And really, the acting, all of these characters have the exact same actor. They're all bland. No emotion is put into them. Nothing. Really. I mean, watch Trinity for a little bit. Would you actually say that she's interesting enough to get her own movie? Nothing about the Matrix, just her getting her own movie. Would she deserve that? Or TV series, or mini series, or anything? I don't think so, because I don't really think I would watch Trinity going around and beating up people and then doing nothing else. And Neo sort of falls into the same thing. He's kind of a little bit more interesting, though. I mean, that's not to say he's not poorly acted. Oh, he is. But I don't really find him as annoying as Trinity. I mean, he can be annoying, especially with his "whoa" line. For some odd reason, that one was so famous, though. So it is kind of funny. But I don't really find him as bad as Trinity, who has no character and no emotion aside from, oh no, she can fight stuff, and also she's the love interest, and who dies in the third one. Oh yeah, spoiler. So, who watched the third one? And also, then there's Agent Smith, who, he's alright. I mean, he definitely got better as the films progressed. Like, I'm not gonna say that there were that many good things about the sequels, but at least Agent Smith got more interesting and got way more dangerous as a villain. In the first one, he's sort of just a villain. Nothing really too deep or complex to him, and he's just an agent, like all the other agents. So really, there's nothing really to fear about him or be intimidated by, because he's just like the other agents, except a little bit higher in position, I guess. But aside from that, I don't really see anything that interesting about him. At least not in this one. And then there's Morpheus, who I thought was awesome at the beginning. But then the ending came in. The ending part of the movie is where everything about Morpheus that was cool was just taken away to me. I mean, he's chained up, he just looks so pathetic chained up. I'm just like, this is the guy I was rooting for? This is the guy that I thought was awesome? What the heck happened to him? Chains stop him? He smashed a toilet with his head! Why can't he just, boom, break out those chains easily? I don't get that. Also, why does he look like the monsters from Monsters, Inc. after they had that machine on them? After they had that machine used on them. Like that machine that would suck out their screens and stuff. Why do he look like those guys? I don't know. There was like sprinklers, I think, on, but I don't really see how that happened. And then there's the Oracle, who is kind of interesting. I mean, she definitely puts a little bit more energy into it than all the other characters, but yeah, she sort of falls into the same Morpheus category. Or at least as the films progress. And then I just had to talk about this one character from the rest of the team. Not the rest of the team, no one else in the team, just this one guy. Cypher. I love this guy. This guy was awesome. I don't know what it is about him. He was just awesome. I mean, this guy had so much energy and emotion put into it. He was the only character I actually said, yeah, go win. Go follow your dreams, which is going back to the Matrix. And like I said before in the story, he actually did point out how Morpheus should have given some more indication as to what the pills do. And he actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, why couldn't he have just gone back to what he wanted to do with his life? I mean, who knows? He might have had a fiance or something. He might have a family or something, and then he just comes across this and can't do anything. Although, I really do wonder, why doesn't he just go back into the Matrix, go into that room, and then take the blue pill? I really don't get that. Well, why can't he hook up the Matrix onto Morpheus and then find out where the blue pills are, and then go and get them? That makes no sense to me, but I guess he just doesn't want to, but he seems to care a lot about getting back into the Matrix. That part I really don't get. But this guy is sort of like Bullseye from Daredevil. He's so over the top and corny that you just can't help but enjoy him. He's just so much fun in this. So for the characters, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, because mainly just because of Cypher. All the other characters bored me, but Cypher, he was awesome. And now I'm going to do a little bit of something different for this review. I'm going to talk about the effects. Why? Because the effects are what made it famous. So, next up is the effects.